Which mechs should you buy during the Heavy Hitters sale that is currently on in Mechwarrior Online? Greetings, Mechwarriors! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is TTB speaking, and welcome back to another video recommending you stuff to spend your hard-earned MC and C bills on. And we have a heavy mech currently on sale, or we have a heavy mech sale out there. So most of the heavy mechs are available at reduced prices, 50% off. Some of them, of course, only for MC, all the hero mechs, and others will be cut in the C-Build department as well. I'm just going to walk you through which kinds of mechs you should buy, in my opinion. Of course, if you have a secret tip that you would recommend to everybody to try and the build, go ahead and put it down in the comments below. And all those mechs I'm recommending, all those builds I'm recommending, you will find them on my channel. Just use the search function. And yes, guys, I've listened to you. I'm going to click onto the mechs today when I'm talking about them so that people viewing on mobile have an easier time. Okay, first up is the Archer. And I would say the best mech to buy here, if you have MC, is the Archer Tempest. The Tempest comes with 6 energy hardpoints and 3 missile hardpoints. You can run it with double MRM40 and ECM. Really good mech to use as a team support mech and does a good amount of damage. So that's the mech I would recommend in the Archer range. The other Archers aren't bad, but you won't get the ECM. Next up is the Black Knight, and the Black Knight Partizan is an interesting mech. It has one of the best paint jobs, I think, out there with the gold applications here everywhere. And it is, I believe, the only Black Knight that can run ballistic and missile at the same time. However, the Black Knight suffered from a big problem, and that is its knuckle dragging. You're always shooting from the hip. You're like Tex. You're always shooting from the hip. And so that is a big problem, and that's something that holds the Black Knight back quite a bit. If I had to recommend any specific model, there are a few things that you can do here. I would always choose a model that has extra armor. So the Black Knight 7, BL7 KNT is a good choice here. You could also think about choosing the Black Knight 6 KNT, but this thing doesn't have armor. It has structure quirks, but it has double AMS, so it's a nice team supporter. Moving on towards the Cataphracts. The Cataphracts have the same problem as the Black Knight. They're always knuckle draggers, so most of the hardpoints are fairly far down. You have a big problem also because the hardpoints sometimes, especially in the arms, are far apart, so convergence can be an issue, and shooting at targets around obstacles can also be an issue, so be aware of that. If I would recommend one of the Cataphracts, I would say go with the 0 XP, because that thing can run, let's say, for example, 4 medium pulse lasers and an AC-20, and all of that with ECM, which makes it a little bit more safe and a little bit more able to get to that brawling range and then dish out the damage. Moving on to a Battletech classic, the Catapult. Well, there are a few interesting variants in here. For example, a Jester hero mech that uses a double AMS, has these little AMS bunny ears, and also 6 energy hardpoints. So that is an interesting one, especially, for example, if you want to do like a PPC, medium laser, and AMS kind of build. You've also got the Butterbee hero mech, which is the basis for a good Splat Cat, 4 SRM6s, and then some medium lasers and whatnot. So also an interesting mech to use. If you do not want to spend MC, you could look, for example, at the K2. With the K2, you can do funny stuff like, for example, the Splat Cat. Yeah, a very fun build with double LB20s. So that's something that you could look at. Or if you just want to have a classic Catapult, then you can literally just basically go with the C1, for example. Okay, moving on, the champion currently is not on sale, if I'm correct. Yep. So the next one to talk about will be the Dragon. Now with the Dragon, there is one build that really stood out because it was used in pro play at a point, and that was the Dragon 5N. Basically what you do is you put UAC-20s, not UAC-20s, UAC-2s in the arm, 3 UAC-2s, and then you basically shoot at the enemy like this, where you do a nose dab with your weapon, and you're forcing the enemy basically to shoot through your side torso into your CT while your weapon stays fairly safe. But it is very hard to do, and it only works when you are fighting an entrenched warfare, so where you don't have to move around much and where you don't have to deal with targets on all different angles, and you can just not walk forward and shoot forward. So very specialized build. Other than that, I don't think the Dragon is the most powerful mech out there. I personally don't enjoy it too much. Fang and Flame are interesting hero mechs. We've done some laser builds with that in the past, so you can look those up if you're interested. Next mech is something that I would consider a must-have for every player of this game. It doesn't matter which you buy because they're OmniMechs, but if you're in the shop for a hero mech and you want to have a little bit extra C-bills and you enjoy playing even Jags, definitely get the Esprit de Corps. It also has a really nice paint job to go with, and also comes with that this bunny ear side torso mount up there. If you just want to spend C-bills, then just get any of them. Maybe just get the Eben Jag Prime or whatnot. You can do some really nice laser bolts on there, and it's just a very enjoyable mech to play. So Eben Jag must have in my opinion. Next up, Grasshopper. Well, there's the hero mech, the Mjolnir, and this one comes with a ballistic slot for the arm. It has a really nice paint job, guys, but it's definitely not the best Grasshopper out there. Also, bear in mind, guys, the Grasshoppers have the same problem. They like shooting from the hips, but with the Grasshopper, it's not that much of a problem because you're using jump jets to get your damage into targets. Now, as far as the mechs are concerned, the 5H is interesting to me, as well as the 5P has energy range, the 5H has energy heat, 10% cooler, and you can do some nice laser bolts on this, there where you pop tart, jump up, shoot a target with large lasers, medium lasers, whatever, ER larges, ER mediums, and then drop behind cover again. Grasshopper is something that, at a price of 3 million C-bills, you should consider picking one up. Just check my videos to see which playstyle suits you best. Next up, another must-have in any player's arsenal in this game, the Hellbringer. If you have C-bills, just get the Hellbringer Prime and use that as your basis. If you have MC and you don't have it yet, and you like to play Hellbringer, definitely pick up the Virago and then just build your Hellbringer build of your choice. With the Virago, you also get this missile Omnipod on the right arm that you never can get in any other mech, and it also has a really nice paint job with all those gold applications. So Virago, really good. If you don't want to spend the MC, just get any Hellbringer because they're all great, and again, you can mix and match because it is an Omni-mech. Next up is the Hellfire, and with the Hellfire Void, you can do an interesting build where you do basically a quote-unquote poor man's Death Strike. So, and also what is important about this mechanism, what I wanted to show actually, it also has Mask. So Hellfires with Mask, very interesting. The Void is a fun hero mech to play. If you don't want to play the Void, you can do other configurations, for example, with the Hellfire, where is it? Let me just pick it up. Yep, the Hellfire A, very interesting. You can have 4 missile hardpoints and 1 ballistic hardpoint, and that makes an insanely good brawler with the Mask on top of a Gauss rifle and 4 SRM6s. Really good brawler. I did a video about that 2 months ago with an Ace of Spades, 8 kills in 1 match. So definitely check that out. So Hellfire, think about getting the A, for example. The Void isn't bad. If you don't have it yet, just pick it up. Next up is the Jaeger mech. The thing is, the Jaeger mech has nice high hard points, guys. Let me click on that 1 sec. But it basically forces you to use light or, better yet, XL engines. It can do some good damage at longer ranges, but I've never been able to really warm up to the Jaeger mech. So, in my opinion, it's an interesting mech if you have too many mechs, but I wouldn't consider it a must-buy at this point. If you're interested in some builds on that, check out my channel. Next up is the Linebacker. Everybody should have a Linebacker, guys. These guys are just great heavy mechs that have insane speed and can bring some good firepower to the table combined with some good tank capabilities. You can make them into missile boats being streak boats, SRM brawlers, ATM boats. You can do 5 medium pulse lasers and whatnot. You can easily do 1,000 damage or more with these, so definitely pick one up. And you don't need to pick up the red line hero mech. I don't think that is necessary. What you could think about also is the H, because that is one that has jump jets, so you can have a jumping linebacker. It can be quite surprising to some people, but yeah, definitely make sure you get a linebacker if you don't have one yet. After the linebacker, we look at the Mad Dog, and the Mad Dog is also, I think Vulture is the classic name for it. It's also really good mech, and again, it's an Omni mech, so you can mix and match. I would pick up the A if I just had to buy it for C-bills. You can do 6 SRM6s, 6 streaks or whatnot. You can do LRM builds. It's just a really good mech, and I've done videos both on the Revenant as well as the Bandit in the past as well. So these are also 2 interesting hero mechs that you can pick up if you enjoy the Mad Dog gameplay. Now let's talk about the Marauder, guys. The Marauder is a Battletech classic, and the Marauder is definitely a really, really good mech to have, and everybody should have one. If you want to get the hero mech, the Bounty Hunter 2, it's really good. You can do, for example, a Gauss rifle or a heavy Gauss rifle and 6 medium lasers that are mounted in the arms. It has this great metallic kind of paint that you don't get as easily on any kind of Innosphere mechs, so definitely a nice mech to pick up. If you're just looking for a simple mech, then I would recommend the 3R, because you can do 3 Rag 2s on this, plus 4 medium lasers, or you can do 2 Rag 5s and medium lasers and whatnot. It's a nice mech that you can pick up. Or if you want to go for missiles, that's the Marauder 5D, and it has nice high missile hardpoints if you want to go for that, and also has a 10% missile cooldown quirk. Now let's talk about the Nigerian. Nigerian is a very interesting clan mech, also an Omni mech, and you can do lots of builds with that. If you want to follow my insane ATM 48 build, then pick up the Nigerian D from the get-go. It's a nice missile boat for any kind of missile operations, but it can do the ATM 48, which is just brutal at the specific range bracket of 130 to 270-ish meters. I wouldn't recommend the Jade Kite per se to pick up. If you don't have it yet and you're looking to complete your collection of Nigerians, then sure, go for it. But to me, it's not. There's nothing special about it. I would pick up the Delta, or maybe if I wanted to do more Dakar and whatnot, maybe think about the Prime or the Charlie. Okay, let's look at the Nova Cat. The Nova Cat is a little bit a weird thing because it runs around like a jacked up Nightjar basically. It's pretty fat. It's pretty easy to hit the side torsos and the CT on this one. If you're looking to buy a Nova Cat, I might recommend the Bravo for you because it has these nice missile pods in the arms that get shot off quite easily. Don't get me wrong, guys. You have to protect those, but you can do like 6 LRM-15s, or you can do a streak boat build with that, combined with some jump distance if you choose the right omnipods. But other than that, there's also the option to do a jumping ballistic build. I've done that a few weeks ago as well. Now we're talking Orion, and if you're saying Orion, you're basically saying Pocket Atlas, because the Orion is the Atlas's smaller brother. The Protector is a good hero mech. It has a nice paint job, it looks good, it handles well. You can do something like an LB20 and MRM40, for example, on this thing. It's a good pickup if you are looking for an Orion hero mech. If not, then, well, all the Orions are pretty good. Just choose what playstyle suits you best. I mean, you could think about the Orion VA, for example. This one can be done with the Mini Atlas configuration with SRM4s, for example, and AC20 or whatnot. It makes for a really nice mech. It's really tanky. It's really, really enjoyable. Next up, we are looking at Clan Orion 2Cs. You should have an Orion 2C in your arsenal. It's an insanely good clan brawler. It can also do ATMs very well, it can do streaks very well, but it also excels at brawling. And there is one build, if I can find it though. Yep, see the Orion 2CA in the MC version comes with the build, pre-built basically. Clan LB20 and 4 SRM6s with Artemis. Really, really good brawling mech, very enjoyable. Okay-ish hit points or hard points for your weapons. You've got the 3 high up, you've got the arm-mounted missile launcher as well. All in all, a great mech to have. I really recommend that. So just get the A and mimic the build that is on the 2CA champion mech. The skill, I don't know about that. I haven't bought one yet, and I just, it's kind of a weird thing with just 1 ballistic hardpoint, 1 missile hardpoint, and 4 energy hardpoints. The paint job is gorgeous. It's amazing. I love it, but the hardpoints are so bad. I'm not gonna buy one. Period. Next up is the Quickdraw. If I had to say one thing about the Quickdraw, it is buy the IV4 right now. It's on sale. It's 2,250 MC. If you have seen what insane things the Quickdraw can do with his 20% missile cooldown and MRMs, you know what I'm talking about. Get the IV4. The other quick draws, not as interesting at all. But the IV4 is an exceptional mech. Rifleman. Well, we've got the Legend Killer here in the hero mechs, as well as the Dao Breaker. I'm not that familiar with the Dao Breaker. Legend Killer, of course, being that quote-unquote legendary mech of Grey Norton. Not a bad mech to start with for ballistic and for energy hardpoints. It's something that you can try out. If you're just looking to try out any of those riflemen, I might want to go, or I might want to recommend something like the 3C, for example, which has ballistic cooldown and range, plus range on top of it, and you could do a nice AC2 build on that, and just deal with enemies at longer ranges. Okay guys, let's talk about the Roughneck. In the Roughneck side, there are quite a few mechs available here. You can do a lot of laser and missile builds. For example, the 1B is pretty good at doing MRM builds due to his high hardpoints on the side torsos. There's also the Reaver hero mech that has some quirks for ballistic cooldown, but it's a little bit of a knuckle dragger, unfortunately. But it has those high laser mounts that some other Roughnecks have as well. If you're looking to buy a hero mech in the Roughneck, get the Powerhouse, because this thing can be built as a mini Atlas. It has 3 ballistic hardpoints and 3 missile hardpoints, so you can do something like an AC-20 and 3 SRM-6s at the weight of just 65 tons. It has a gorgeous paint job. It's just a great brawler. So if you're in the market for a hero mech in the Roughneck department, get the Powerhouse. If not, there are good choices available here. Just search through my channel and you'll find some. Next up, the Summoner used to be the prime mech for clans, and it was about jump jetting, pop tarting, and PPCing. Has fallen a little bit out of use lately. The Pride is interesting because it had a sought after Omnipod, but I think that got changed later on, or it was made available on a normal battle mech as well. So with the Summoner, there are some variants that you can play where you go, like, for example, with streaks or whatnot, or you go jump jet pop tarting with ERPPCs like we did today in the live stream. It's all solid, it's all okay, but it's nothing to write home about. It's just a normal mech, like nothing that is in there that I would say is a must-have. But if you like to summon the gameplay of pop tarting, then that's something worth to look at. Next up is the SunSpider. Well, if you like to go PPCs, you can do some good builds with the SunSpider Manul hero mech. It also has a nice paint job. Alternatively, you could look at the SunSpider Vanguard and do some mixed Dakar build, or you just get something like the SunSpider Prime and do a huge missile build combined with the Omnipods, I think, from the Charlie. Yeah, from the Charlie SunSpider. So you can do some good learn boats on this, you can do streak boats, you can do ATM boats. SunSpiders are interesting mechs, and I would definitely recommend to get one of these, just because they're Omni mechs, so you can switch out the Omnipods. Then, it's Inner Sphere time again, the Thanatos. Well, you can do interesting things on the Hangover hero mech. It comes equipped with rocket launchers from the get-go, but I would recommend maybe doing like streaks or SRMs and lasers. All the Thanatos models have ECM, which is really, really good. Hangover, as I said, is an interesting mech. If you just want to get one Thanatos, I would think about getting the, what was it, 5T or 5P? This one has armor. The 5P has also armor. So it doesn't really matter. Maybe get the 5P, double MRM40s, ECM, Excel engine. You have a very, very solid mech on your hands that can do a lot of damage. Okay, just a few more mechs to go. Let's talk about the Thunderbolt. First up, the hero mech, the Top Dog. 9 energy hardpoints and energy range to go with some nice paint job. And the name Top Dog. Really, really good mech. Very fun, much fun to play. Good grouping of those laser weapons, 1 in the arm and 8 in the torso. I would say if you have some MC to spare and you like the Thunderbolt itself, then definitely get the Top Dog. And there are other variants here available as well, where you can do some nice combined builds. For example, this one, the 5SS. You just use an MRM launcher together with a lot of medium lasers. Does a lot of damage. Good mech and fun to use. Then we're talking about the Timberwolf. First up, the Warrant hero mech. It has a nice, like really nice looking paint job, but ultimately I wouldn't recommend this thing because it just hasn't clicked for me yet. The Timberwolf in general used to be an amazing mech. It has fallen out of use a little lately because of the engine desync and the various nerfs it has received over time. But you can still do some fun builds if you want to try it out. Maybe start with the Timberwolf S. and go with a mixed ATM and streak build. I've showed that on my channel as well. Well, guys, last but not least, TTB Heaven, the Warhammer. First up, the Black Widow. If you don't have a Black Widow yet, then this is the time to buy it. It is the 4 ballistic hardpoint in the CT Warhammer. It has an interesting paint job, but that is not the point. The point is those 4 ballistic hardpoints in the CT. You can do something like 3 Rec 2 XL engine, really, really nice build on that. You can do AC2s, you can do AC5s. We've done a lot of builds on the Black Widow. It's definitely a recommended buy. And if you don't want to get the Black Widow or you just want to spend C builds, then, well, if you want to go with a mixed ballistic and laser build, you can look at the 6R, for example, 2 Gauss rifles and 4 or 6 medium lasers. You can look at the 6D and do large pulses and medium lasers, for example, or large lasers and medium lasers. Lots and lots of possibilities. The 7S has 6 energy, 3 missiles, so look at those hard points up here. Those scream, please put MRMs into me. And then you just add medium lasers, and the 6D also, again, we already talked about that in the 6D itself. That's just the champion mech. The 4L, I haven't talked about that one yet, have I? Yeah, so the 4L has 6 energy hardpoints and 1 missile hardpoint. It has 15% missile cooldown, so again, guys, this screams put an MRM40 in this thing, put 6 lasers in there, and you could also go stealth with this because this is the only Warhammer model that can go with ECM. I wouldn't go stealth, I would go MRM40, 6 medium lasers, and ECM, and you have a very, very powerful mech. Well, and that is all for this video, guys. As I said, if you're interested in how these builds are best played and skilled, go ahead and check out my channel, just scroll through it, and you will find what you're looking for. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if that was helpful or not. If I missed any mechs that you personally enjoy, because for various reasons, and it doesn't matter what those reasons are, put them down into the comments and let people know how to build these and what you like about them. This has been TTB. Have a great day. I'm out of here.